Currently it's 10:40 South Australian time here, in case you're in maybe in other parts of the world or maybe interstate watching this. Welcome aboard. Good, just creating certainly plenty of interest wherever you may be. Young up-and-coming champion race drivers in race seats here. Gee, there's some talent up that front part of that grid, I can tell you. So everyone scampers, gets beyond the gate. I've got a formation lap. And then we'll be on our way. Terrific sight. That's a great camera shot. You can see right underneath the footbridge there in the main straightaway. There's that camera up there. That's actually on the balcony at level 3 of the complex. Looks straight on top of the grid there. It's also a great viewing position up there at level 4. They'll be getting the same sort of view up there in the sky deck. Stand on the roof of the building. As I mentioned, it's strong northerly breeze here. They'll be racing straight into it down the main straight. We'll get a little bit of tyre warm up here and we'll get our formation lap. And Harrison Duske is stalled there. Didn't want to leave the line at all, so everyone goes past him. That's not a positive start if that's the case. Sun is certainly out here, but conditions are quite cool. So they'll be certainly looking for track temperature will certainly be quite cold. That breeze is stiff northerly, it's quite fresh, and certainly keeping the much cooler conditions here. And was that a spinner there in the background? I thought I saw someone backwards there just as the cars went past. There it is. Oh, it's Brock Burton. Well, that's not the way you want to start off your warm-up lap. So, you don't want to be driving it out in the gravel either. That's probably the last thing you want to be doing, and he's throwing a whole lot of kitty litter on the track too. That's very unfortunate. It'll make things a little bit slippery down there at turns 1 and 2. And Harrison Duske did the same thing, stalling off the grid there for the formation lap. So, gee, a couple of early errors there, but they haven't even gone racing yet. Hear the wind in the background. It's certainly being picked up by that camera down the back of the circuit there. Very blustery conditions. Andrew Fitzpatrick there, he's just making it through in the Masters class car number 88. It's the one car team there. So with the more senior drivers in the field. And now they'll grid them up. Well, hopefully we can get a clean start here, because we obviously didn't see that yesterday with Noah Killion stalling off the line, but he's got no problems. Hopefully he gets away safely here because he's got pole position. As we all pick them up. Couple out of position, obviously. Just waiting for Brock Burton to regain his position after he's had his little moment down there at turn 2. And looks like we're just about all set here to go racing here. AU4 Championship, race number 2 about to be kicked off. Just waiting for that green flag there at the back of the grid. Official down there doing a great job waiting for the information to say we're all set to go from our official stewards up in the box. There it goes. There's time to go racing. The man's scampered down to turn 1 here at the Bend. We're about to find out. Keep a close eye on the inside 2 here. Very important. The Killion was good. McNeill will also clean as a whistle. Harrison Duske got away cleanly. No problems there at all. And they head down to turn 1. And now they'll pan out. So Killion goes to the front, no problems. McNeill followed him through, got up to 2nd position. And Duske up to third position. So they're the top three off the grid. Look at all the gravel down the road there. That's bad news, really. And it looks like Kokovic also slipped through there in fourth. So all the top four there have gone through clean as a whistle. And now they enter into lap number one, down to turn number 6 for the first time. And look at McNeill. Yes, oh, alongside of each other. Got a bit close there between him and Killion. And McNeill goes through and he gets the lead inside of the first 7 turns. That's what he did yesterday, and he dominated. But this is going to pan out over the next certainly 20 minutes of racing time left. Very exciting stuff. This will chop and change. Stay tuned. So McNeill goes to the front for Killion, and then Harris and Duske. All nose to tail. 44 car there of Colin Kovakovic just behind them. And Imogen Radburn got herself up into 5th position. That's where she started from the grid from Brock Burton. And already Jensen Marold in the Gen 1 car up to 7th position. He's already passed Georgie Morgan in the Gen 2 car. So that shows you how dominant he's been so far in this series in that Gen 1 championship. Kokovic there looking for the pass down there on Harris and Duske. Just went out of the camera shot there. And there they go. So he's made that pass done. He got it in front of Duske. And have a look at Imogen Radburn under brakes. He locks them all up. The action line marking entry there. And Kokovic there has actually ended up very wide there out of the exit there at turn 6. Oh, got a bit close there if you don't mind. Don't want to be rubbing any wheels here. It gets too tight there. Let's have a look at Harris and Duske working on the steering wheel there. He's very busy. Got a little bit crossed up there at the exit there at turn 9. And Radburn around the outside at 11. Oh, gee, got pushed a bit wide. So the AGI entry goes past the Tim Macro Racing entry there of Harris and Duske. So he picks up another position. So she goes herself up the 4th position there at the moment. But the leader, who's Isaac McNeill, has already scooted away in the Valente Rosso Motorsport entry there. Has certainly kicked away already. There's Radburn, that's Harris and Duske. So up the climb they go. And there they are. Very exciting race drivers. And Killion on the inside lane under brakes. Oh, he pinches one. It's going to push him wide. He can't go in hot and come out this other side properly. So he just lets McNeill go straight through. There's a bit of a dive bomb there for Killion. That's not going to work there, unfortunately. A little bit too late on the brakes. Killion's got plenty of pace, no doubt about it. Just needs to pick his braking markers a little bit better. And he does it again. He's late on the pedal again, trying to get on the inside there of McNeill. But McNeill was a lot cleaner. So this is positions 1 and 2. Oh, gee, a little bit unsettled there, McNeill over the curbing. And you can see, look at the gap between them and Colin Kokovic there. There they are. And these pair are running away, and they were the dominant pair yesterday. Certainly, McNeill was. Obviously, Noah Killion had to fight his way through the field after stalling off the start. You can look at the rubbish and gravel there on the track and going down through that section. I'm going to need some brooms down there after. Now, here's a busy section. Big brake lock up there too. Andrew Fitzpatrick in that group. And, oh, that's the 3 car that locked them all up. And that's Jesse J. Samuels and another one of the AGI Sport entries. Here's our front 2 again. So McNeill and Killion. Jump back a little bit there, Killion. I wonder if he's made a slight error out of shot. And talking about slight errors, and that's beached as. And that's Jesse Jane Samuels there, and he won't get out of there. That'll be a safety car intervention, I would have thought, because that race car is well and truly buried. I'm not Not too sure whereabouts. It looks like turn 8. We'll come a look in a moment. So, unfortunately, once you get in the kitty litter around here in low flying open wheel race cars, not much chance of getting out. And talking about getting out, if you don't mind. So, I think that was Chloe Lane out there, out in the weeds. And I can see safety car lights in pit lane, so there's going to be a decision made here in just a moment, I would have thought. So where is this Samuels car? That's the 73 car shot there. That's Diago Stewart. And there it is. So it's on the runoff at the northern part of turn 2. Oh, well, that's just off the edge on the side of the kitty litter there. So no decision taken just yet. But McNeill now with a 2.6 second lead, and there it is, it's been called. It had to happen. We can't leave that race car there. It's in a very precarious position down there at the moment, and a dangerous position. So they'll have to put the hitch on there and pull him out of the gravel. He had a big brake lock up just here at turn 1 just beforehand. So whether he's had another issue down there, maybe a braking issue with that race car, I'm not too sure, but he looks like he spun out there and got himself into the kitty litter, which is a bit unfortunate. The race was just shaping up nicely, so this will back them all back up. And what was happening there was a position change too, because while we were looking at back markers there on a shot, we actually had Noah Killion actually go to the race lead just before they had that safety car calling. So that's turn 3. Right down the far outer reaches of the northern part of the track. And unfortunately, he's scattered a fair bit. Here we go, this will answer the question. And he's just spun out under his own. He's got a flat tyre. That's got a deflated right-hand rear, and that was the reason. You can see it there decisively that tyre is deflated. So that tyre was already down before he found himself in the kitty litter. Just tried to get out of there. Just spun under his own steam, and once he's lit that thing up, it's just spun him around and thrown him back in the kitty litter, because obviously with that flat tyre, he wouldn't have probably known that. So that's the reason. No harm done. So change the lead up the front. We had Noah Killion just go to the lead there just before that safety car was called. Whew, gee, that's going to make it exciting, isn't it? Now McNeill's got to fight his way back. And what about Imogen Radburn? Got herself up to third position as well while that was all happening, in front of Koen Kokovic there. So a fair bit of changes, certainly around the top 4 or 5 inside of those last couple of laps just before the safety car was called. And very exciting up the front now. And now we're going to back them all back up again. The Eco Industries entry there of Andrew Fitzpatrick just goes past. The more senior drivers in the field. They don't have to put that recovery vehicle in too far there, so this will be a fairly quick recovery. You would have thought so. And maybe a little bit of a track tidy up. There's been a fair bit of gravel thrown across that part of the circuit as well, just from our shot. Number 6 a little bit further back. That's Kobe Wilson. He's a long way further back. He's should have been up a little bit further. One of the IGA Sport entries that isn't the same colour as the others. Which makes my job a little bit easier. So trying to keep some heat in those tyres. I mentioned track temperature is still fairly cold. And Jesse out of the car there, so no harm done. He'll now be able to see that rear right is deflated. And you'll understand the reason why he had no control of that car. Trying to do the old flick spin there, but it didn't quite work, and it doesn't usually work with flat tyres. So that's the reason he's got a bit of the carbon fibre skirting there as well. Well, that's actually from the cockpit around the race driver. So, it looks like the lift's been called for there. Bit hard to, probably these very low cars, easily damaged trying to drag them up on top of a tilt tray, so that car we'll have the picker down there and they'll just pick him up. Well, it's had everything, hasn't it? We run through already race 1 yesterday, but it's completely different to what we saw yesterday. Now with the lead change again. All cars now backed up behind. All those gaps have all been squashed up, and it'll be now race on again. Still got 10 minutes remaining here in this particular race. Chloe Lane there, car 21. It's good to see there's plenty of young female drivers certainly involved here in this series this year. And they've had a fair bit of success too at previous series, so they've gone on to do bigger and better things. Let's hope the same as well. Just having a look at the screen there, we can see Jensen Marold leading the Gen 1 category there, well, easily. Andrew Fitzpatrick in second position in that class. Well, Kobe Wilson's been the one chasing him around in that class so far for the series. He's a fair way back through the field there. And that shows you there's Obi Noah Killion, Isaac McNeill, Imogen Radburn, Cohen Kokovic there, Harrison Duske, Brock Burton, and Georgie Morgan, another female driver in the field there. 7th position in the Gen 2 category. See, Radburn's certainly been one to watch here. She started from position 5 of the grid. She's made up 2 positions. She's got herself up into 3rd position. Driver's busy at the wheel there, scrubbing these tyres, trying to get the heat in them as much as possible. Because obviously the hotter the tyres, the better they stick to the road. That's the job they're meant to do. Running on slick rubber here, as you would expect. Certainly no wet weather tyres required today. Well, not yet anyway. We'll just leave it at that. It's a rain forecast a little bit later in the afternoon. We may actually get through their last race before that rain does arrive. They have loaded that race car up on the back of the tilt tray there, so that'll be headed back towards the infield access road, and they'll be out of harm's way very shortly. And we certainly will get a start here on this lap. Below on the settings, just under 8 minutes remaining. It'll be approximately under 7 minutes before they do the restart here. Exciting restart too. This is going to be an absolute mad scamper down to turn 1. McNeill will be pretty keen to regain his lead here. Did all the hard work in the early part of this race to get up to the front, but gee, Killion, we saw yesterday, he's got some talent, this kid. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And he lights out, so we will get the restart here. And we're about to kick things off. Less than 7 minutes now remaining, race time remaining in race 2. Wasted a few minutes there under safety car conditions. Clock keeps ticking. Safety car's pulled in, that's turn 11. And you can see the safety car will exit stage left in just a moment. Get into formation, single file. And here they come. Oh, gee, Killian backs them up too. He brings them in nice and easy. And away he goes. So green it is. Gee, Harrison Duske got a flyer there too. I think he might have got himself back up to fourth in front of Kokovic there. And Killion goes to the front. Here they go. So McNeill and Killion alongside of each other through turns the 2-3 complex. Well, no one giving an inch there. Over the crest of 4. Oh, look at Radburn. Yeah, she's come to the party too, and now it becomes 3. Now she's much closer, obviously, after the safety car intervention. And under the heavy braking marker down there at turn 6. McNeill's been very good through this section of the early part. And now down through 8 and 9, back inside the main complex here. Big sweeping bends. So if McNeill's close enough, he'll try and get himself tucked up behind our race leader Noah Killion down there at turn 11, because there is a passing opportunity there if close enough. Killion regains the lead there and hangs on. Top 3 going to draw away. I'll tell you what, Radburn's got some pace. She is not going to be too far away inside the next couple of laps. McNeill was actually fastest on that lap. Currently in 2nd position, but that will certainly change. Maybe. Just saw, I think that was Kobe Wilson putting a pass down in Clobby Lane there, back through the pack. That was 10th and 11th position. Just out of the camera shot there, that's Harrison Duske. Car 35 in the Tim Macro Racing entry. Currently 5th on track. And there's the top 2. So Killion now starting to dominate. Got that little bit of a margin between him and Isaac McNeill. So where's the image of Radburn and all that? She's still there, just trying to drop off that pairing at the moment. She was certainly right up behind him on the restart. Colin Kokovic there back in 4th position. So there's lots of blue and gold machines out there at the moment involved in that top few in the AGI Sport entries. As you would expect, it's a very large team and they actually run the series, so plenty of race cars involved. Plenty of talent in that team. So 0.86 of a second there between 1st and 2nd on that race lap. And the lead lap cars now head out onto their 11th race lap with just 3.5 minutes remaining here for race 2 of the weekend. There's a mini jump buck entry makes its way through. That's Jensen Morald, who's been undefeated in the Generation 1 category. And he's got a nice little break too. Again, in fact, he's nearly 6 seconds in front of 2nd place getter in that class, and Andrew Fitzpatrick. So just showing his normal dominant style there in Gen 1 as we've seen so far throughout the series. Around the outside is the 6 car. That's Kobe Wilson. So that's position for Gen 1. 2nd and 3rd position. And Wilson goes up into 2nd position. So the usual 2nd position bridesmaid at Gen 1 has gone back to 2nd position because he's the one that's been 2nd behind Morald for the whole series. And now he goes back up into that 2nd position there for Gen 1 in front of Andrew Fitzpatrick. And just behind them, the 21 car there, another Gen 1 car there of Chloe Lane. So Kobe Wilson there. Fitzpatrick's not letting him get by. But they're going to try and get back to his 2nd position. And around the outside there for Fitzpatrick, probably not there, I wouldn't have thought. And Wilson will hang on there for 2nd position in Gen 1. You look at that camera shot there. Look at all the kitty litter that's been thrown over that section of the track. It's certainly see it clear as day there. So car in the pits. Well, that's Brock Burton. It's just made his way through So he drops down through the field. He was in 6th position. So one of the Tim Macro Racing entries, unfortunately, into the pits early on lap 11. This is fighting for position. Kobe Wilson and Andrew Fitzpatrick. We're just talking about the 2 Gen 1 cars, currently 2nd and 3rd on track in that class. Well, Kobe Wilson's got past him okay, but he hasn't really got away. So, interesting. Roll leading that class has already gone across the start-finish line. Yeah, Chloe Lane just behind him there in the 21 car, not too far away, so that's 2nd, 3rd and 4th position on track for Gen 1. That's been fairly closely contested, and there they are. And just behind them there is Diago Stewart as well, so he's coming to the mix. See the white car just behind them. There it is, the 73 car. So he's made up plenty of ground. Barely 15 years of age. Just a young, fresh-faced kid out there like the rest of them in this group. Made his debut in the series here at round 1 here at the Bend. Did a great job too. So it's still that battle for Gen 1 we can see on screen at the moment. Just looking up the front there, Killion now 2.5 seconds between him and Isaac McNeill there in 2nd position. In fact, make that 3.3, they've just gone across the line to complete 13 race laps. So that gap now starting to widen, and for good reason, because Noah Killion has just done the fastest race lap so far of this race at a 1:18.81. So that's the first time anyone's got into the 1:18s so far in this race. So that's a real quick lap. And that's why that margin has just widened up a little bit. Imogen Radburn back in 3rd position. She's not too far away actually from McNeill, so obviously we'll see where they are on track at another camera angle very shortly. 21 car, that's Chloe Lane and Diago Stewart. They're fighting it out. They're currently 10th and 11th overall on the track, but they are currently 4th and 5th position in the Gen 1 class. And there's our race leader. So let's have a look at these margins at the moment. So that's Noah Killion, and that's checkered flag. So that's the end of it. So Killion takes that victory. No, he doesn't. What happened there? Yeah, it is Killion, just flicked over. So it's Killion, McNeill, Imogen Radburn. Yeah, got through that time pretty quickly. So they're the top 3. Then we go back to the next Gen 2, which will be Cohen Kukovic, Harrison Duske, and the first position 6 on track, and first in Gen 1, Jensen Marold, we've got in front of the Gen 2 car there of Georgie Morgan. And we go back to 2nd in class of Gen 1 will be Kobe Wilson again. No, so 2nd in every single race of the series so far in that class. And then we're back to Andrew Fitzpatrick, Chloe Lane, held off the challenge there from Diago Stewart. And a bit further back to Nick Filippetto, Laurie Costidis, and the 2 non-finishers there. Obviously, Brock Burton may have actually come back out again. So whatever that issue was, he might have got a couple of laps in towards the end. And unfortunately, didn't finish. Jesse J. Samuels there, who got the thing beached down there at turn 3. And so that was the reason we had the safety car intervention there a little earlier, which was only 4 laps in during that race. Well, there we go. We saw this young fella screen through the field yesterday, and he finally puts one on the board there, Nathan Killion. And so car 13 takes it out for Gen 2, and Gen 1 will go to, once again, undefeated in that class, Jensen Marold, to round out for that race 2 here for Australian AU4. I hope you enjoyed. There was lots going on there amongst different classes and battle packs, but super exciting to be a part of. And I hope you've enjoyed our AU4 race. I'll be back a little later on at approximately 1:55 this afternoon, so make sure you keep tuned in to Blendline TV. And that certainly does swap the positions around also as far as points are concerned. And certainly good points gained there by Noah Killion into taking that race victory, and might change certainly positions as far as the championship is concerned going into the final race this afternoon. Well, we'll have a short break. We'll come back. We've got some Circuit XL trophy action happening just before our officials' lunch break. So while everybody gets themselves sorted out and puts the kettle on, we'll be back a little bit in just a few little moments to get through that Circuit XL trophy race.